NewsNation contributor Kurt Bardella. He's also a veteran political and media strategist. I mean, it's safe to say no love lost between these two, but this is the first official speech that we'll hear from the former president. Is that why it is significant, and what do you expect him to say?
Well, I think that it's significant because, one, it is the first time that we're hearing from former President Biden since the election. I think, two, the void of leadership within the Democratic Party, the lack of a singular unifying person to unite around, has created a void. And so people are looking at former leaders and saying, well, let's see how they do on the stage. I think that anytime that you have a conference like this, focusing on something that really doesn't generate a lot of top headlines day in and day out, disabled Americans, bringing in a former president to turn attention that way is a smart thing to do. It's a good platform for former President Biden to talk. I think this is where his human side comes out, where he is compassionate, he is empathetic, where that is the very best of Joe Biden, talking about people who are disadvantaged and need more resources. I think that's a pretty good setting to cast him in.
However, the former president has taken swipes at Trump. He's shown his frustration with the current president in the White House. Do you expect there's some risk in him combating back today? And what do you think the calculation will be in response?
I think the president will be better served focusing on drawing contrast with the agenda that his administration pursued versus what Republicans are doing, how they're gutting funding that would benefit the people in that room, the crowd that he's addressed to, how they're cut everything all the time without any concern for those less advantaged, those who have special needs, those who need more resources, is downright inhumane. I think if he goes into a tit for tat with Donald Trump over slights and insults and barbs from the campaign trail and grievances, imagined or not, when you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. I don't think Biden would be served trying to fight back against Trump in the same way. He should try to elevate and be above that fray.
The Bidens were seen out in public in March at a Broadway show. Does this attendance in the speech this week indicate to you and others efforts to re-engage with Democratic Party leadership? And what do folks in your camp envision his role to be politically moving forward?
Well, it's been no secret that the Bidens have been wanting to return to the public stage, that he's kind of itching to get out there and frustrated that he's been sort of sidelined or forgotten. I'm sure he feels a little disrespected after everything that went down last summer with him having to step aside for Vice President Harris to run, and he was marginalized and pushed out. And so I think he sees the void in the Democratic Party, and he's thinking, well, until that void's filled, I was the most recent president, the most recent leader of the party. I'm gonna start doing some things. And for Democrats who are, again, hand wringing and concerned and wishing he would just go away, it's like, well, then show us a better alternative. Get organized, get visible, and show us why we can do better. Because until that actually happens, that's who we're going to have right now is Joe Biden, is Bernie Sanders for that matter, too. It's like two old white guys out there saying their piece. It's like, well, if you don't like it, come up with something better, Democrats.
Kurt, how candid do you think he'll be about how things went down last year?
I expect that he won't get into that inside baseball stuff on a stage like this. Again, you're speaking to a conference that's about disabled Americans. It would be very, I think, unusual to veer off into, well, this is what really happened, and do a tell-all.
No, but maybe more just in general in the months ahead. I mean, is he looking for that opportunity? Does he want to tell his side of how he feels?
I'm sure he will. And if I were him, I would save that for my book deal and publish it in my own words rather than give it away to someone else for free. But I'm sure the time will come where he will give his accounting of what happened from his perspective. There's a lot of intrigue around it. There's a ton of books coming out, as we all know, about the Biden administration and what was going on with his own mental acuity, who knew what when, who may have held back on being honest about what was going on, the buy-in from White House staff or the delusions of White House staff, depending on who you ask. So there's going to be a lot of material coming out. I think the president's smart to just let that first wave hit, let everyone kind of empty their cannons, and then come in with your definitive truth of what happened.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.